Hello, everybody. My name is Puppeteen from I Love Puppets. Here today on I Love Puppets. Today for what? The Suicide Squad. It is not a sequel. No, not really. It is its own thing by James Gunn, and it has just come out. It came out yesterday. And the only reason we didn't review it yesterday is because we wanted to watch it. So, yeah, you can't review something without watching it, and we have watched it all the way through to the very, very in-credit scene end.
End of the credits, yes.
End of the credits, that's right. And to join me for this recap and review, I have, of course, Shark Zach!
That's right! What, you thought you were going to review a movie with a walking, talking shark and you weren't going to get his older brother, the real King Shark? Zach?
The real King Shark?
No, not really. I'm not the real
okay.
one. But
I was about to say, I didn't want to assume that all shark people were related, so...
No, we're not. We're not. You know,
go.
there's a big distinction. There's the great whites, there's the hammerheads, the whale sharks. You know, we're not all related. We're all our own separate clans. So
that's interesting. And of course, when we have a shark, we have a fish. We also need an amphibian. And who do we have in the darkness below? Froggy!
Hey, you're Walmart shark, aren't you? I've seen you before.
Darn it! I've been
No,
doxxed.
he's Left Shark.
That's right. Don't you recognize these sweet moves from that Katy Perry concert a lifetime ago? Nobody remembers.
I will admit those are better moves than what I saw in the movie.
He couldn't give us.
Alrighty. I think there's only one way to really get through this, and that's to
it's a lot of alcohol and cigarettes.
Now to go ahead and give what happened. So if you don't want spoilers, you should stop and come back later after you've seen the movie. If you don't care about spoilers, I think you're going to be fine because we're going.
If you want to waste your money, watch it normal. If you don't, watch it on the high seas.
So you, quiet frog.
Stop. Do you know why you're down there? Because
the two of you are retards. I'd better be on the bottom.
He's a Debbie Downer.
He is
you're uppity, upchucking.
So
wannabe shark.
How this movie starts is with Michael Rooker. I can't remember his character name. Can you?
Savant. His villain name is Savant.
Savant.
That's how bad it is if you don't remember the character's name, bro.
Well, nobody knows most of these characters. These are all F-list villains.
Are they really?
Yeah. Most of
Javelin?
them.
You didn't know Javelin?
No. Who knows who Javelin is?
People read comics?
I read comics.
I read comics too, but I do not know Javelin intimately.
Oh, I hope not. It'd be kind of weird.
Well, Harley Quinn looked like she was going to. So this first team is sent out, and their mission is to go to this island, and ultimately they're going to head towards a place called Jotunheim. Jotunheim!
No relation to Asgard.
Those remember Jotunheim is where they're going in the original Suicide comic.
Yeah, yep. That
Which
we read yesterday.
I saw that. That was actually really well done. I really enjoyed that reading.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, thank you, Eric Carmen, for stopping by.
I saw a piranha plant. Is that who he's referring to?
No.
The
wall.
I don't know who he's talking about. But anyway.
Wow. This brain must really must your brain. The movie. Can't think anymore. Oh, no.
Anyway. As soon as they get there, another character played by the guy from Saturday Night Live.
Peter David.
Is
it Peter David?
I don't think it's Peter David. No, that's an actual awesome writer.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, much better.
That's it.
He steps up and he's like, "I'm here, guys. We can work out our deal now." And everybody's telling him, "Get down, get down." He ends up shot in the face within the first few seconds.
By the way,
I will point this out. That was probably my favorite part of the movie.
That was actually, I kind of figured, like, okay, I'm gonna if you saw the trailers and you were guessing which characters were going to live and die,
Well,
if Pete Davidson wasn't on your list of characters to die, you were doing it wrong.
you knew who was gonna die because you saw the trailers and they showed the people going against Starro. So you saw who was left.
No.
Yeah, but sometimes they do misdirects and
absolutely
they
disagree.
put false footage into trailers sometimes. But yeah, that I will say though, on top of him getting shot in the face, in case you didn't know, if you didn't read any other reviews, this movie has so much blood. My eyes just got big just watching the movie. I wanted human flesh. There's so much blood in this movie. Or frog flesh or anything just to I was getting so hungry just seeing the visceral of the movie.
Maybe I shouldn't have invited him on. Anyway, from there, this A-team ends up pretty much all dying except for Rick Flag and Harley Quinn. That means including Captain Boomerang. It's very sad.
Yeah, bullshit.
Well, I was thinking about this today. You know, Captain Boomerang has actually died twice in the comics.
Yeah,
so not unheard of.
But knowing Captain Boomerang, they don't want him around because he's a bad, toxic male.
Well, lots of men lived through this movie.
Don't you remember how he sweet talked? Was flirting everybody. And
have you been drinking the Kool-Aid?
Yes, do you remember
Kool-Aid? You guys wouldn't like the movie. You must be all be drinking Kool-Aid.
Do you remember Captain Boomerang in the 2015 movie? He was obsessed with unicorns. He was just not as good. He had some lines.
He was great.
No, Captain Unicorn.
Captain Unicorn.
Captain Boomerang was never a unicorn obsessed weird fetishist. Thank you. He was never that in the comics.
No,
he was at least. Well,
you know what
he's
like. It didn't happen like that.
2015 had a lot of problems. You had a horrible Deadshot. You had a horrible Harley Quinn. Enchantress was probably the only good character.
What we can say about this movie is that Captain Boomerang looked. He looked, and it sounded like he was going to be better, but sadly, he gets torn up by a helicopter. Yep. And
Mom Gal gets.
Actually, no, it wasn't a helicopter. It was actually flying debris.
Well, he was still alive with the splinters.
Not really.
He was standing. He was sitting up. I watched the scene again.
I agree. So I think he was because they opened it up on the helicopter, and he was. He was great, and they wasted him.
3 lines.
You know what? He was freaking great, and 3 lines is better than anybody else in this movie. Because
the thing is,
this movie got bad.
Amanda Waller is the one responsible for killing Captain Boomerang. Why? Because this is the A-team.
This is the A-team.
Distraction.
The distraction
because
team.
On the other side of the beach, guess who comes out? But King Shark, Peacemaker, Bloodsport, and Ratcatcher 2.
And Polka Dot Man.
And Polka Dot Man. That's right.
That wasn't Peacemaker. That was John Cena.
That's Peacemaker.
That's John Cena.
It's
if it was John Cena, you couldn't see him if it was John Cena.
Oh.
Okay. Look.
How do you see Peacemaker?
That John Cena played John Cena?
Pretty much. They fought at the end?
In the first Suicide Squad, Will Smith plays Will Smith.
Yeah, that was bad too.
But I disagree. I actually liked Will Smith in that movie.
Yeah,
and I like John Cena in this movie.
I liked it because he plays off like he's this big patriotic guy, but he's still kind of a douche, just like John Cena. So it kind of works.
But I enjoyed him. So they come out onto the beach and they go into the woods. They're going to be the real team that's going to Jotunheim. They camp out on the beach, and then the mission changes. Why? Because Rick Flag is alive.
After they killed all the freedom fighters.
You're
skipping ahead. You got to stay on target.
I was going to drag it out a little bit.
You're going to drag it out like James Gunn did in this movie?
It's hilarious because
they really funny.
Rescue him because they think Rick Flag is captured by the enemy, but as they kill all these people and finally get to him.
And they're one-upping each other, like
Mhm.
Peacemaker and Blood. It's like a competition to see who has the coolest kill.
And it's
kinda funny.
revealed that they were actually the freedom fighters that were fighting against the government that they're supposed to be helping
Yeah.
dismantle somewhat.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
showed John Cena and Idris Elba doing competing. Who's got the bigger gun?
For lack
That
of
was
a better
funny.
joke, that's pretty accurate. It's actually funny because when they meet each other, Amanda Waller introduces them both as highly trained killers who were trained by their dad, best in the field, and
Use anything as weapon.
right, yeah, they use anything, and I think it's Bloodsport that says, "Wait a second, did you say about him? You just said the same thing about me."
He
It's,
said each person is
unique.
for this team because of their unique abilities. He does
Right.
what I do.
That was
So does
pretty funny.
Deadshot.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
wasn't available.
No, but they somehow they morphed this character into Deadshot. You notice they gave him a freaking daughter who never had a daughter. You know his original look in the comics when he started off in John Burns? He had an orange bandana, dude. He looked kind of like a Deathstroke, kind of like a Urban Gorilla. He had the sat and all the slash with the shotgun belt and stuff. His weapon stuff is they kept it teleporting. That was cool. How he could teleport his weapons.
Was it? Oh wait, in the comics, his weapons teleported.
Yeah, here too.
I liked.
Did you-
No, they were like little modular things.
Oh,
He
that's
could-
right. That's right.
He
Yeah.
would take them
That
off
was
of his
fun.
costume. He was
Yeah.
like an Inspector Gadget kind of. I actually like his suit a lot with his weapons. That was
But
really cool. I
What
thought.
was with like? It felt more like it was kind of a cross between Deadshot with Bullseye.
Eh. I really liked Idris Elba. I think he.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a
He
good
doesn't-
actor.
he doesn't do bad
I
roles,
just felt
but-
like if they want to do a reboot, you couldn't get Will Smith. Just make him Deadshot.
Well, I don't think it was I think it actually is. I'm
Why?
going to disagree
So-
with Puppeteen a little bit. I think it is a little bit of a sequel because you can see between Harley, Boomerang, and Rick, they all know each other.
Yeah,
So I think it is kind
Like
of a sequel.
soft reboot.
It's a
Soft.
soft reboot. You're replacing most of the old guard with the new guard. It's what we're going to see with Avengers eventually. Like there's going to be none of the original 6 or 7 or however. It's all going to be new blood.
except
It's
for
just
Harley. Harley survives everything.
Hey, she was great in this movie. This is
Ugh.
my favorite Harley Quinn movie.
She's
The
been
quote-
in 3
the
movies,
quote-
and in this one, she is finally
To quote
shown.
Eric Breen. Ugh.
No,
No,
great.
she's awesome. She nails the attitude, the mannerisms, the
Oh, by-
accents.
So all it proved is that she's like, we'll sleep with anybody who says they like her.
No, she
No.
did.
She
No.
banged the bad guy.
Yeah, and
One
then she
bad
got
guy. You're
one.
spoiling things. We
Yeah.
didn't
We ain't
get to that
spoiling
part.
things. The whole movie's a spoiler. We're not doing non-spoilers here.
No, but we're trying to go through the recap.
Ugh.
Yeah, because you tell a story in parts. You don't skip around.
Why do we got telling the parts? Why can't we just skip around like the movie did?
The movie didn't skip around. It had flashbacks. That's a big
Yeah, that was annoying. After the first 15,
Well, that's one of the great things about the film is because it's shot like a comic book, and you have flashbacks, and you have like the little narrative titles that are scattered. It's very
this
comic
felt like
book-y.
this felt like a
Yes.
this felt like a Grant Morrison was writing the Suicide Squad 15 minutes ahead. 15 minutes before that. While that was going on, this was going on. I don't care. Just continue. Go.
Okay. So they go and they get Rick Flag, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't see anybody out there," but clearly they killed their entire squad.
Yeah.
But
But they ultimately, the people who are left of the Freedom Fighters, agree to help the squad get to Jotunheim.
because in reality, they wouldn't. You just killed all my men. You think they wouldn't just try to kill them?
Well, in reality, there's no giant starfish floating around in space either.
That you know of.
There
I mean,
is
I'm
no
a
giant
talking frog,
starfish.
and you're right there. So this is reality, isn't it? You're a puppet.
Yes, but our reality is not as weird as a giant starfish reality. I've been there before. Trust me.
Wait. You've been by a giant starfish?
I've been by a giant starfish before, yes. You know, there's a universe where Starro came and he won.
You don't know starfish is a joke about anal.
Mhm.
John Cena brought it up in the beginning. Yeah,
So-
another lame joke.
So, anyway, whenever we move right along, they are heading towards the main city. Why? Because they have to get a man called the Thinker. Dun, dun, dun. And played by Peter Capaldi. Why? They have
The 12th Doctor with all
Yes.
the sonic screwdrivers sticking out of his head.
I just want to point out to Eric Breen's comment. I do love criticism, but guess what? I don't have to listen to it every freaking 5 minutes. I can tune it out if I want to. Everyone's allowed to say what they want to say. I can't control you, Breen. If I could, I would, but I can't. I don't have that kind of money or power.
Yes. But you know who does have that power? Somebody coming up here soon.
Wait. Is it He-Man? I got the power.
No, not He-Man.
Oh.
Anyway, from there they go into a bar where Thinker hangs out. And this is arguably the worst part of the movie. I love Peter Capaldi as an actor. He was great as the Doctor. He's great as an actor overall. I've seen him in quite a few things. But in this movie, they did not have him play the Thinker. They stuck nodes in his head and said, "Hey, you look the part. There you go." And they didn't make him the Thinker. Not really.
They made him
Not
kind
really.
of dumb if you think about it.
Yeah. Because he goes into the bar and he's looking around. You would think he'd be looking and noticing these people aren't the same. These aren't the normal.
Wouldn't they all be beneath him? Like go
What?
in a place like that? Wouldn't he have his own like office with alcohol? He can sit at his desk and drink.
Well,
Or actually,
but
why would he even
they're
drink?
dancing girls.
He doesn't want. His drinking ruins your brain cells. Why would he even drink?
Well, maybe he doesn't drink. Maybe he goes there for the ladies or the gentlemen. I don't know. I don't want to.
The answer might
Assume.
surprise you.
Yeah.
A little inside joke there.
that part actually did make me laugh. But you're right. That is testament to what you're saying. He was more just playing Peter Capaldi with nodes in his head than the actual thing. Because I don't think the actual Thinker would have responded like that.
No.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. But
Well, we're also used to the Thinker who had a chair in Flash.
that's right. This is supposed to be the same thing
Actually,
from the
I've
Flash,
read the
isn't it?
book. Like I said, I've read the series, The Suicide Squad, by John Ostrander.
Who had an
So,
appearance in
The
this
Thinker
film, by
does
the way.
appear in the book as a part of the movie,
Oh, okay.
and he actually goes along with it because he wants to turn from his life of crime in that book anyway. And he has like this
Interesting.
big dome head, but he has a purple costume.
Yes, he was a one-note character, Mr. Breen.
One node character.
That's actually pretty good.
Yes,
That's a good one.
that is great. You are worthy of being on this stream, Breen.
No, Breen's probably like, no, don't do that. Don't send me a link.
Save yourself.
Anyway, from there they are trying to get him out of the bar, but that is when, because Harley on the other side of the island was captured actually by the enemy. She had a date night. What? The president of the country, the one who took over, he wants to marry Harley. They end up.
It's really funny because he thinks that she represents anti-American values, and so that's
Yep.
why he wants to marry her. It's kind of
Yep.
funny.
She's a strong, brave, independent woman.
What's more American than that?
But they end up screwing around a little bit. But that is when he is saying that there is actually a weapon in Jotunheim that he's going to use to take over the world, basically. The women and the children, too. The Star Wars Act would appreciate that.
Yes. He probably
And
would.
then she most predictably shoots him.
Yeah, that's
It was
actually one of the best scenes that
Yes.
she has in the movie.
Well, you-
Because it's so you know how every time we see a Spider-Man movie, almost every time they rehash Uncle Ben dying, or every time we see Batman, they rehash his parents dying. This was a neat way to subtly reference the Joker and everything without actually having to say, "Oh, hey, there was Jared Leto and he abused me." Blah 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 blah. I actually really dug that scene, and I also thought it was funny because she's like, "If I ever met a guy who raised any red flags, I would do the healthy thing and
Ooh.
kill him."
And kill them. That's right.
Talk about skipping parts. You skipped over Armful Up Boy.
Oh, we skipped
Yeah,
several of those guys.
died.
We skipped over Weasel too.
We skipped. Yeah, of course, we
We
skipped.
the first death of the movie
Well,
because he can't swim.
yeah. Did anybody check
Well, that
Everybody
was
talks
kind of
about
weird too.
Waller.
Like they're supposed to be this top thing with working for Waller, and they're all just like idiots working for her.
Well, they were like gambling and taking bets on
Yeah,
who would live and die.
I don't know if that's supposed to be funny, but I'm thinking for how serious Waller is, she would have had them like they should all be deathly afraid of her.
I mean, she is serious in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that they were even thought about doing that.
Well, not everyone is going to be a serious. Like, I don't know if there's anybody who's a serious.
Dude, she can
Amanda
make it.
Waller.
She can make you disappear with just one phone call.
Yeah, but
Really?
that is
That-
I'd be scared
That's part of the
shitless.
reason why Bloodsport is in this, because his daughter was threatened with, well, prison.
stealing. Yeah, she stole a watch, which she called a stupid thing to steal, which was also a pretty funny scene, I thought. But yeah, she threatens him with being
No.
tried.
F you, F you.
You know,
you!
the
You
thing is,
stole an effing watch.
I kept thinking like, is this a ruse? That way she doesn't go after his daughter, make her think that he doesn't like her. This is all ruse. Then you find out it's real.
Yeah,
Um,
but
Ugh.
and
wait, where were we?
where
You
were
Yeah, hold on. I
Harlan
gotta look at my phone with a watch on it.
And she was then captured by, well, the president's guards. It makes sense. They come in there.
Sorry.
Okay. And from there, they take Harley and they
They string her up and they
Mhm.
try to like taser her and try to get information because they
Yes.
want to know
we're
who
gonna
else
save
is.
that scene. That's gold. That's
That-
gold right there. We're going to save what happens there.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the general who's now in charge says, okay, we're going to get the Americans. So go searching through the city. And they go into the bar right as
How
they're
many Americans are here with you? 69.
I was saying that, but that was 69 meta units. And then the
the guy
guy
has to say. Sorry.
inside goes up. That was great.
Very funny.
So in the bar, though, they get Tinker out through the back. It's Polka Dot Man and
Ratcatcher,
2, the sequel.
who I really liked. I like Ratcatcher
I did
too.
too. I was surprised by how much I actually enjoyed her.
Yeah, she was a surprise.
That's because you liked her.
No, we're not Simp Zach.
No, this isn't. Zach is still on the Yelena.
We don't know. He could have ate
Is there a
some.
Margot Robbie Simp, Zach?
No, if I send for too many, Zach, wife of Zach gets mad. So
I heard you ate that Super Zach. That's why you're all simpy now.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny which Zachs I have eaten. So yeah.
Eat them all.
No,
I'll
think
give you 20
it's
bucks.
I need Star Wars Zach. Okay,
I'll give you $20. $50 is my highest offer.
at least for one more week. So anyway, they get him out and into the van where poor King Shark was waiting the entire time they were enjoying their time in the bar.
Poor guy, because he can't disguise himself, even though he tries to do like a fake mustache. Peacemaker's like, nope, I can still tell it's you.
For how dumbed down they made him, I'm surprised they didn't have him getting out of the van and just wandering around because he's hungry.
Oh yeah, he
Nom
wants his nom noms.
Num num.
Nom nom.
Sylvester still. I don't know what it is with James Gunn taking these actors who are known for at least something pop
Well, at least they didn't make him like Groot, you know.
Yeah, where he just
Because they did that. That was in the animated movie they did at the Dark one, Dark Justice League, Justice League Dark. Apocalypse War. King Shark is King Shark. He kept saying that over and over again.
Wasn't he like boyfriends with Constantine too?
Yeah, they had a thing. They had a booty
Yeah.
call.
I don't think this King Shark would date Constantine.
I think he would probably eat him.
Well, I don't even know that was even in the comic book or that animated movie, because that's just weird for normies who don't even read comics. Why would Constantine sleep with a fish? That's just weird.
There are things called furries.
Yeah, and I have things called flamethrowers and shotguns. That come to me.
Anyway, eventually they're driving off in the van, and that leaves Rick Flag, Peacemaker,
And Rick Grimes.
Bloodsport
to get captured, and they're in this van, and they're being
Down
taken
by the river.
to join Harley. And ultimately they wait. One of the guards offers a smoke to Bloodsport. Bloodsport uses it, and then they do a thing on one, and then they boom.
That was a really cool scene. I enjoyed it because what Bloodsport's like, he starts naming these fighting styles. Like in Japanese they call it Jinjutsu. In in English it's called the death touch. It's like, it's the premise that you can kill a man with a single blow. And the soldier's like, oh yeah, I guess it's possible, but it's not certain. And these guys proved them wrong, because all three of them, 3 professional killers. So that was a cool scene. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then they end up crashing the vehicle because they're shooting the driver.
Because John Cena killed the driver. Yes, again, the driver didn't see him. That's why.
Well,
yeah, exactly. They couldn't see him.
Yeah.
I would have been great though for how great this movie is when they crash. John Cena's arm gets ripped off.
No.
Yeah, it would have made more sense. He had his arm through the freaking hole while he was rolling over, and it's sharp metal. His arm should have got gone. You know.
You just want to punish John Cena, Froggy, and I don't understand.
Punish John Cena.
It's a comic book movie.
Yeah, for how much gore it is, John Cena is the only one that didn't really have much gore.
Well, they're saving
actually,
that
we're
for
going to talk about what he has later.
Yeah.
Because after that, they get out, and Operation Jotunheim is in effect, says Bloodsport, but Rick Flag says no. And it changes in the background. It's Operation Harley.
Now, I get before we go any further. What do you guys think of the cut scenes where they actually had changed the words? Like Jotunheim was on the building, he was different parts of the rooftop.
Yep.
I really dug that part, actually.
Cool.
All throughout the movie, where it's like, it starts out, so the first time where I was like, oh, this is really cool, is after they blow up Michael Rooker's head with the bomb. I don't know if we talked about that. But
the blood's all on the wall.
The blood turns into Suicide Squad, and they say things like 3 days earlier or now. All these little titles and flashcards, I really enjoyed it. I felt it added to the comic book vibe.
It was full of gore. That's why it was rated R. Language.
No, there's lots of language too. There's lots of
not so much. How many F-bombs did you hear though?
Like every 2 seconds. In certain scenes, not throughout the movie.
Yeah,
but
it didn't feel like there's a lot.
Bloodsport, every character in this movie, even King Shark curses.
The fish curses.
What did he say?
He says the F word. He drops an F-bomb. When he does the finger mustache and Peacemaker says, I can still tell it's you, he goes, oh! And he storms off all angry. You need to watch it with closed captions. But
closed captions, huh?
I like to do that in case I miss something.
But one of the great things about this movie is whenever they have people talking in Spanish, because that's what they're talking, and they have captions that like pop up right next to them. It's really cool.
It's on the side instead of along the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I did really like that as well. That was really cool.
I watched without closed captions.
I think this movie needed an R rating, especially for how much
the violence. There was also like a brief, like 1 second flash of front male nudity.
What? Yeah, you didn't notice?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
I wasn't looking for guys dinglings, okay?
I wasn't looking for that.
I wasn't either, but it's there.
What scene is this so I can go watch it again?
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
It's when they're going through shooting the people in the village, the freedom
Fighter.
fighters. One guy walks out of his door.
The guy gets shot because
He's not wearing any pants.
I think he was
In the
masturbating when
club,
he gets
they're
shot.
taking out Thinker, there is a topless girl as well.
Oh, is there? Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I
there
saw
is.
that part.
There is.
Okay,
Right, I
you
forgot
noticed that. Okay.
Yeah. So definitely
best part
has
of
an
the
R
movie.
rating for a reason.
Yes, we need to move right along. Harley, in this moment, that's when she makes that because the general asks, "How many humans did you bring on with you?" 69.
69.
69. And the guard explains, "No, that's not what it is."
Yeah, the villains were just completely idiots.
Well, they're fascist dictators, so of course they are.
And from there they shock Harley until she passes out, and
Supposedly.
he says to alert him whenever she wakes up. And so
And then she does the classic thing where she's pretending to be asleep. She raises her legs up and then chokes the guy with her legs.
when she opened her eyes, she looked absolutely diabolical. It was wonderful.
That was crazy. That was Psycho Harley. And you know, I read this. It was actually her. It wasn't a body double. That was actually her chained up, like contorting, doing the gymnast moves, putting like with the feet, putting the key in the lock. That was actually her.
Yeah, that was impressive. And yeah, she does really a Black Widow move wherever she wraps her legs around the guy's head, but this time breaks his neck. It was cool. From there, it's just violence all the way. And halfway through, flowers start coming around behind her, because as she's slicing people all around, blood and flowers come out because Harley has a twisted view of the world.
I would like to take this moment before all this even happened. I would like to point out, if you do not like birds being set on fire, don't watch this movie.
Oh yeah, there was that. Oh, I imagine Backyard Moments might not have enjoyed that part.
Yeah, because the general, after the president is dead, just lights all the birds on fire. Why? There's no need for that.
I don't think there was. There really was. It was a weird scene, I guess, just to make you hate the guy a little bit more, so maybe you cheer when he eventually dies. But
he's so diabolical. He lit animals on fire. Imagine if you lit a dog on fire.
Well, it's like in that there's like a G.I. Joe comic where Cobra Commander kicks a puppy, and you're just like,
then John Wick shows up and shoots him. Yeah,
that would be a great comic. I would read that comic. But no, back to what you were saying. I love that scene because it shows how crazy Harley Quinn is when she's like shooting flowers and little cartoon birds are popping up, and it's just a really cool scene.
You realize we're going to get now Harley Quinn in the comics with the javelin. That's going to happen because
probably
that weapon so well.
Probably. I did predict that, because in the trailers you do see Harley with the javelin, so javelin was top of my list of characters to die. But yeah, she does work that javelin really well.
Yep.
That's not a joke. Don't do it, Froggy. Don't you do it.
Well, not anymore. The guy's dead.
That's true.
She even mentioned, and that was the crazy part too. Is like, you had a great big stick between your legs, but but you're evil.
That monster between his legs.
R.I.P. to that beautiful monster.
Yeah, that was cringe.
It's Harley Quinn being crazy.
No, it's Harley Quinn making a sexual joke.
Okay.
No, because she just got her brains effed up by that guy.
Well, then she shot his guts out. So,
I'm actually surprised that she only shot him right in the heart. I thought she would shoot him like in the head or the junk or something like that first. I was
No, she doesn't want to destroy that. Anyway, this conversation has gone on too far.
Move on.
She gets out of the place she's being held, and that's when the Suicide Squad is about to run a mission. They're climbing up the side of the building all to get her. And she's like, "Y'all are going to rescue me?" It's that scene in the trailer. And
Flack's like, "It was a really good plan."
Go back because it's so sweet. And from there, that's where they go to Jotunheim. And yeah, this is the big goal of the movie. They're going to blow it up, destroy Project Starfish, whatever that could be, and that's that. But once they get in there, they separate into teams, and the team of Peacemaker, Rick Flag, Ratcatcher 2, and the Thinker.
Wait, Peacemaker's not supposed to be on the team. He shows up unexpectedly.
Oh, right. Because he's up on.
He doesn't trust. I think it's Thinker.
He's supposed to be with King Shark. They're setting up bombs, and the King Shark is then left alone, and we don't know where Peacemaker went.
Yeah,
you are right.
It's really sad because King Shark made a little C4 model of him to demonstrate that they were friends, and Peacemaker's like, "That's really sweet."
Yeah, because he's like, actually, that's really sweet. He was like, that's not a toy. But then, oh, okay. Well, just stick it on the wall right there. Yeah, he does, and Thinker disappears. So Rick Flag, Ratcatcher 2, and Thinker go down, and they see a bunch of people with starfish on their face. That's right. And they have all sorts of tests where people have the starfish taken off of their face, and it's connected only by like a few strands, and it's all kinds of freaky things. One guy's cut in half, doesn't have any legs, but he's still alive.
Yeah,
because the starfish has taken over, and we see through a window a giant, limb of a starfish. Dun dun dun, and that's when Thinker explains this is Star the Destroyer, and the reason why you're here isn't because of him, really. It's because the government was taken over, and the U.S. wants to cover their part in these experiments. Dun dun dun. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Basically, I hope they just spoil the book for us. We're reading.
I don't. Is that?
You don't think where they're going there? It isn't going to be Amanda Waller is involved.
I don't remember.
No.
I have the trade of that story. I don't remember the ending.
Trial by Fire?
I have that trade. I actually have the first 2 or 3. I can't remember the end of that story though. It's been a while. But yeah, this was a plot twist. I should have probably seen it coming because I know I've read Amanda Waller. I know she covers things up like that. But yeah, that was a neat little plot twist, I thought. Because of course that leads to conflict because Rick Flag, rightly so, gets angry and he's like, we're not going to cover this up. He goes and grabs the computer drive and he's like, I'm going to take this to the press. The people have a right to know what's been going on. And that's when Peacemaker shows up.
Yes, and they are about to fight, and they're starting to whenever suddenly the facility starts caving in. Why? Well, we have to go a few minutes earlier for that. Mm-hmm. And the movie actually does rewinds a little bit because we have to go up. King Shark is in a tank where these neat little jellyfish things are.
New dumb friends.
Yeah, he runs around with them. It is a nice scene. And then what else? Well, Harley, Polka Dot Man, and Bloodsport are setting up explosives, but they picked up this one guy named Milton along the way.
You almost forgot his name too.
I almost forgot Milton because Milton ends up dropping the bags, and he's going to pick them up, and he gets shot by soldiers.
To make it better, I think they should have a guy named Bradley. Milton Bradley, no, they both died.
That would have been kind of funny.
And so from there, they have a quick conversation about Milton. Harley doesn't know a Milton. Bloodsport's like, why was Milton still with us? What could he do? But from there, they have an issue because Polka Dot Man he uses his polka dots because he's a human, metahuman now, who has this intergalactic galactic virus.
It was revealed in the very beginning of the movie that he basically, his mom worked at Star Labs, and she basically wanted to turn all her kids into superheroes, so she experimented on him. And he got some intergalactic disease. If it doesn't expel the polka dots twice a day, he'll die.
Yep.
And get a sad story about some of his siblings survived, and the other one's just gone. Poof.
And he really hates
You know what? And I thought in the comic books he could just turn those polka dots into an actual weapon. Turn them into like actually could,
in the comic books.
he could create
he's not a
any weapon he
metahuman.
wanted to.
He's not a
Mhm.
metahuman. He has a
Yeah.
suit with polka dots that he
Yeah,
can peel off.
they kind of altered him a little bit because here
Uh,
his
I know there will be people who might disagree, but I think this is a cooler change. An intergalactic disease.
They should have called him COVID, man.
It's not contagious.
Well,
you can't
I don't
social
know.
distance from my polka dots.
But he can use them to pretty much just cut through things. In fact, he cuts through some of the soldiers after they kill Milton. It was awesome.
Yeah,
It was
just
brutal.
like it's like acidic polka dots. They just like burn through them. But unfortunately, when more guys show up, he shoots more polka dots. But they
Harley actually screams no, but it's too
No.
late because all the explosives on the floor. Boom.
It's funny. Those look like MRIs. Or MREs.
That's what I actually thought they were at first. I thought they were the MREs.
Remember she was eating one of them.
Well, no, she tore one open with her mouth.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah. But yeah, they do look like the meals, the ready-to-eat meals they have in the military. But yeah, so they blow off the charges early, which stuff starts because they even mention, I think Flag or somebody mentions that they're blowing it up early or it's off the schedule or something. So
and that's why below they are suddenly
that was kind of cool
separated.
though. I will say that's kind of cool that you seeing him. He's like, okay, I with what's his name, Deadshot Jr. Bloodshot.
Bloodsport.
Yes. How at the very beginning when they exploded off, he's like, "Oh, I'm fine," and he landed on the ground, and then it kept going down. Finally to the bottom.
That was great.
And then he saves the little girl from John Cena, who is
we didn't get to that
hold
part.
on, we got.
I just did. I hopped along. I don't want to be here for 50. We're
almost finished. This movie is actually almost done with our explanation. So not Bloodsport. Peacemaker and Rick Flag, they both wake up. Rick Flag is trying to pull this piece of shrapnel out of his arm, and that's when Peacemaker makes a go for the drive.
Because Peacemaker is there. Yeah, because Peacemaker is there to save the drive and take it back, destroy. Excuse me, because he's like Waller's agent there to make sure everything gets covered up. I think that's why he gets chosen specifically
for peace.
For peace, because he would kill every man, woman, and child to get peace.
Yep.
He says that himself.
From there, they fight, and ultimately, there's just a moment. It looks like Rick Flag is going to choke Peacemaker out, but Peacemaker gets another piece of shrapnel and picks it up and stabs Rick Flag straight through the heart, and it actually shows his heart being pierced.
I know, Mortal Kombat style. They go for the X-ray and they show
they
you.
wanted to show that it was real.
And this really was the nail in the coffin for me.
Why? Because a character you're supposed to care about died?
I know another character that they killed off that I liked.
Well,
yeah.
So they make another one. There's no point for me to watch it.
Watch it. Be Steve Trevor. They'll go New 52.
Watch. They'll make another one, and Harley Quinn will survive through all of them.
Well, yeah, Harley Quinn. They'd be foolish to kill Harley. She's a cash cow.
She is.
You just call her a cow?
She's not a cow. We're not calling her a cow. She's a cash.
She's a golden goose. She's a golden goose.
She's utterly bad.
No. Disagree. If we finally, in all the movies that we have seen Harley in, this is her best performance. That scene alone where she handles them, it's not cringy. It's not
she did handle the guy, his monster too.
I don't know what this movie has done to Froggy, but it must have. Anyway,
I don't drink Kool-Aid, but go ahead.
Mm-hmm. From there, Peacemaker has to go after Ratcatcher because Ratcatcher sees John Cena kill Rick Flag and takes the drive with her.
And even though she's like, you can have it, she's like, why do you have to kill? He's like, because I'm thorough.
Yeah, because he's going to shoot her.
Yeah.
But that's when Bloodsport does his awesome boom, boom, boom down.
Well, he didn't do it on purpose.
Well,
yeah. Don't give away.
Yeah. But he shows up and he sees Peacemaker with his gun aimed at
And then they're
Ratcatcher,
and then
and
they're
they shoot. They do the thing where they shoot at each other and their bullets
did you see
collide.
that though? The widescreen shot was like Injustice. Fight round 1.
That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
And that's when Peacemaker and Bloodsport, they're staring at each other, and finally they pull up their guns to shoot at each other, and they do at the exact same time because they are they're pretty much the same in a way.
Yeah.
But
As
there
a
can
recall
only
back,
be one.
As a callback to what they said before about bullets, making tiny bullets, it turned out that John Cena was full of shit.
yep,
He thought he
because
had the smaller bullets.
Bloodsport had smaller bullets. It broke John Cena's bullet, and
goes right through the middle and splits John Cena's bullet,
Yep.
and it goes and gets him right
I
in the
want
neck.
to know what rounds he's using. He can shoot through another bullet.
But it seems like that's pretty much the end. The team's together. And that's when Starro, the Conqueror, comes out after ripping apart Thinker. Because Thinker had him in captivity for a while.
It probably was a good way for this one to go because this is a crappy Thinker.
Yeah, it was a crappy Thinker. I sadly have to agree.
That
But-
was one of the more gruesome parts too. I think we throws him
ripping
against
him
the
in-
wall.
Yeah.
So
Um,
very
Well, he
visceral.
pulled him apart first, then threw him against the wall.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's when and now Starro makes his way out, climbs out.
But you
And-
thought that was the gory part, though?
Well, one
Shark,
of them.
King Shark tearing the guy in half.
That's true too. King Shark does
well,
tear
we
a guy
left
in
that
half.
out because it is a cool shot, but it's not anything important. Not really.
Yeah.
Why? So you just leave out the parts you don't like?
No,
No, it's not that we don't like
disregard
them.
it. I
Why
just
is it
don't
not
talk
important?
about
That's a
it.
cool scene, dude. For King Shark, we've been waiting for him to be really cool, and we finally get it. It's raining, they can't see anything. And here goes this whole King Shark up, and this guy is like, oh crap.
You know, King Shark
rips-
actually got thrown out through the tank in the water, and he's super strong because he has taken fall after fall, and these things. I thought they were killing King Shark because blood was starting to come in the water.
Oh yeah, the
jellyfish
little,
thing turned on him.
The little-
jellyfish things. They become like piranhas, and they attach, and they're sucking onto his skin.
They look like little kids saying, "Oh, cute!" Or like you saw he's playing with them because they're mimicking. They're creating another shark out of their bodies. Like, oh, and then they get in the water because the water breaks.
Yep.
And they're all there, and then they're just swarming over him. Like, oh, he's there's blood everywhere. I was like, dang.
They killed King Shark, but they didn't kill
They
King
did.
Can you
Shark.
imagine if they would have killed him? Because this guy survived a freaking building falling on him, and he gets killed by that.
Hawaiian gods live
No,
through
He
anything.
doesn't get killed by that.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
No,
get
I
killed.
said imagine if he did.
Oh, yeah, that would suck.
Okay. Yeah, that
But
would.
it doesn't suck. He survives and makes it to the end, and that's when the soldiers start shooting at King Shark
Yeah.
to no avail because bullets.
This is where I thought he was actually gonna die. I was actually getting nervous, but
he
nope.
actually stands up then, and he takes the general and
Nom, nom,
bites
nom,
down.
nom, nom, nom.
and he rips off his head and holds it in his mouth.
He's
Everybody else
freaking-
is screaming, running away, and as the guy's head is in his mouth, the eyes are looking around because after your head will still be going for a few seconds.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's at a sudden speed like that. But anyway, that's when Starro makes his appearance.
And Starro looks amazing.
It was awesome. It was great. And he shoots out these little starfish to take over the soldiers and the squad. They guard their face, so that way
Yeah, that's how the Starro gets hold of you. They send out the little parasite Starros to stick onto your face.
Yep.
Yep.
And you
And-
want to watch an awesome part with Starro? Watch it, Justice League Unlimited.
Star was cool in this. He was, and that's when Amanda Waller calls
He's
through.
Keep going.
Amanda Waller calls through and says, "Okay, that's not your mission. So turn around. Come on.
Go
Meet at the
home, yeah.
rendezvous."
Yeah, and Bloodsport's leading them. He's like, okay, our job is done. They turn around, and then all of a sudden he gets 5 feet, and he hears people screaming, Starro wrecking stuff, and he's just like, F. And so he turns around because he's like, I'm going to be a hero. And the rest of the team turns around and they follow him. And Amanda Waller's like screaming into the comms. This is
Don't
where you see
do it.
Amanda Waller starts dropping F-bombs and mother F-bombs and all this stuff. And so she's about to blow them all up. And one of her staff
Yeah, this was a dumb scene.
hits her with a golf club.
That she was with earlier.
I love this scene, actually.
Yeah, no, it was great.
So now that did they ever show what happened to that woman that hit her?
I bet you she gets fired.
Oh, I doubt she gets fired. She's probably in jail somewhere.
Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know if they'll touch on this in a sequel or whatever. If it was me and I was like in a position above Amanda Waller, I'd be like, hey, good job sending your team to save the island of Cordo, whatever it is. You know, and so it makes her look good. And so she'd probably leave that person alone.
Not
Maybe.
really, because that person can still just be silenced. Anybody in there is expendable. Even the fat nerdy guy, even the chips looking at him.
We're going to save them for a mention in just a moment. So they ultimately go to fight against Star the Destroyer. Polka Dot Man manages to take off a limb because Bloodsport says, it's your mom, because during the movie, he sees his mom everywhere.
Like 5 freaking times throughout the movies, we see his mom.
It's funny.
It's not funny. The first time was okay, but after that, it just got annoying. It's a dead joke.
Well, I mean, that's just your opinion.
Giant Mom was not a dead joke. It was funny.
No. You're being a horse to death.
Anyway, so Bloodsport, he's taking his position as the leader, and he starts telling people, like, King Shark, that's a nom-nom. And so King Shark goes after and starts to chew on him. He tells Harley to take the high ground. He tells Polka Dot Man, tries to get him to attack him by saying, it's your mom. And so he takes off a limb, and he's like all excited because he's like, I get to be a superhero.
I know. He said, I am a superhero. And he dies.
And dies. That's actually, it's one of those scenes where I'm like, I'm shocked, but I also kind of wanted to laugh at the same time.
Well, we also got revealed earlier that he's gay. He was in love with Milton.
No,
yeah.
That's not it at all.
No, that was in the freaking thing. When they asked about Milton, he's like, "Yeah, I didn't think for him, but I didn't want to say anything."
I don't think he said that.
No. Bloodsport says, "When did you have such a love affair for Milton?" And he's like, "I liked Milton from the very beginning." But it's not
like a gay thing.
Go watch again. Go watch again.
I watched it with closed captions.
You go watch again. You're the one that didn't pay attention to that.
I paid more attention than you. You paid attention with loathing.
I think you paid attention with alcohol.
So now you know what I watch and how I watch things. That's bullshit.
Well, you've been complaining about most of this
because it was not a good movie.
And that's where we disagree, because this entire scene at the end, when they start fighting against Starro, and we have Ratcatcher ultimately call the rats in the city.
Yeah, she pulls a bit of a squirrel go against Thanos.
Oh my gosh. Do you not know how Ratcatcher works? Because Ratcatcher works like this in the comics too. Fills an entire sewer, almost drowns Batman.
Yeah. A little girl.
Yeah, Ratcatcher too, because Ratcatcher 1 is dead because he died of drugs, I think.
But she had to save the day with her rats because there's no way.
The rats only get in because Harley uses.
Oh, are you both? Oh, rats can chew. Do you know that rats can chew through concrete? You dumbass. How would they not be able to chew through a freaking like flesh in the eyeball?
Well, they could, but I was saying when I said that
they can't chew through concrete.
Starro was.
Yeah, they can. Squirrels can get into. Squirrels can chew through concrete too.
Not that fast though. Not instantaneously.
There was thousands and millions of rats. You think they couldn't just
kicking them off? The only reason why they managed to get in to strike the final death blow is because Harley stabbed the eye, created an opening
with the javelin.
The rat could come in. Yeah,
javelin. Congratulations, you lived.
He's the real hero.
You're avenged. You are avenged. Sir.
And Harley could have gone down and just used the javelin to stab his neural center if she wanted, but she was too lost in, oh my gosh, isn't this pretty?
Oh, look at all the swimming rats.
And yeah, that when they chew through, blood's in the eye, and
it's really bizarre looking. It's
yeah. But ultimately Starro collapses, and that's when the entire population collapses as well. And, well, the Suicide Squad saved the day.
Yay! Oh, he lost.
Oh no, we lost a Froggy.
Oh, yeah,
Because Froggy says that he lost power. If you can get back in, Froggy, we'll add you back, of course. But we are about finished with this here. There's only 2 more scenes to talk about. Because they escape, they go home. But you know who wakes up? We finally see
the freaking Weasel. So in the beginning of the movie, when they drop into the ocean, Weasel's like floundering about, splashing, and they're like, "Oh, he can't swim." So when they get him pulled to shore, they declare him dead because he's not breathing or anything. But now at the end of the movie, all of a sudden, just coughs up water and he gets up. He's all discombobulated.
I wanted that
goes off.
freak of nature to die. He is an ugly little thing.
Was such a weird. I think he was motion captured by James Gunn's brother. Actually,
he was, and James Gunn's brother also played Calendar Man.
Was it Calendar Man? Because I saw the writing around his head. I didn't get a chance to see if it was like months or something. But okay.
It is, and he screams at Polka Dot Man earlier in the movie.
that was pretty funny.
This,
Yeah. So that's the first end scene. And then you get all the way to the end of the credits, and there's another scene.
Yeah. You get to see the fat IT guy from Amanda Waller's team, and somebody else.
Some woman from her team.
Another woman. Yep.
Yeah, another woman.
And Peacemaker is revealed to be alive. When he was shot through the neck, I was pretty sure he was going to survive, but then the building fell, and I figured he died.
But then they say they found him in the rubble, and the doctor was amazed that his heart was still beating. And
it was a silly thing because I actually said right before the end credit scene, I expected the Peacemaker series that's coming out this January, which is going to be reviewed here on I Love Puppets. I expected it to be a prequel.
Yeah, I did too, actually.
It's a sequel.
It'll be a sequel.
We're doing a sequel. Yes.
Okay.
Different puppets. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this movie. And overall, I know Froggy did not care for it. He thought it was stupid. Okay. I was watching with somebody and they said, the movie was really good when it wasn't stupid. But they were laughing the entire time. This movie is a riot.
It's really good. It's definitely worth a look at. I really enjoyed it. This is probably what Warner Brothers wanted the first movie to be, but because the director for
David
the first
Ayer made a different movie.
He made a different feel, a different tone, and so they just cut and mishmashed his stuff together like they did with Zack Snyder. This time around, Warner Brothers was like, look, we'll be upfront with you, James Gunn. This is what we want. You can do whatever, but this is what we want it to be. And so after that, they just kind of backed off, let him do his thing, and they got a great movie. And I hope they learn from this that if you stick your hands in the cake batter, it's gonna mess it up. So, but I really enjoyed this movie a lot. And in fact, one of my favorite cameo bits we didn't talk about yet. And I actually wonder if I want to leave some surprise for people, so I may leave it out, actually. Yeah, okay. I'll leave it out.
All right. Well, then my final thoughts are it's a really good movie. If you want to go and have a good time, then watch this movie. It is really good.
Yes.
And it does have that classic comic book feel with it's made more for people who would have read the classic Suicide Squad run when it was coming out. But overall, it's a really good movie, and you should be watching it if you are at all interested. I wasn't that interested, and I regret that now because now it has satisfied my movie-going experience for a little while, at least, until the next one. But until then, we want to thank you. If you made it to the end of this video,
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Pat yourself on the back.
Make sure to like and comment. Let us know what you think. And subscribe if you would. We're trying to build up a base, and well, let's build it up. That's right. Thank you, Shark Zach, for your demonstration.
That's
Shark
subscribers.
Zach smart.
Shark
Book
Zach
good.
is smart. Book fun. Nom nom. Nom noms.
So until next time, thank you so much for watching. In the link below, there will be a link to our new Ko-Fi. We do comic book readings. If you have one that you want us to read, go ahead and drop $1 in the till if you wouldn't mind, and let us know what you would like us to read, and we'll do our best to get straight to it whenever we can.
And let us know if you've seen the movie. What did you like? Or even if you didn't like it, what didn't you like? We want to hear all the opinions. Who was your favorite character? Who was your least favorite death? All the stuff.
And if you are interested in seeing what the original Suicide Squad was like, well, we did a comic book reading just yesterday. So look for the colorful curtains and the characters just popping right out of it. And we'll hopefully you'll leave a comment there too, and hopefully you enjoy it. But until then, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you to Shark Zach and Froggy, even though he is gone at the moment in the swamp. You don't get a lot of power. Hopefully we will see him soon, and we will see you soon as well. But until then, one last thank you before we say bye.
Nom noms.